Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well with everything going on right now. I wanted to get on here and talk a little bit before I got into the entire video. This video was filmed a couple weeks back and I never got around to actually editing and posting it because of everything happening in America currently. We have the coronavirus, which obviously is spanning way farther than just America. And then we have all of the police brutality happening. We had the murder of George Floyd happen. We've been having lynchings happening. And it just didn't feel right to post something at the time and pretend like everything was okay because everything was not okay whatsoever. I absolutely believe that Black lives right now really need our support. I understand that there has been a lot of debate on this, but I will tell you right now, I truly believe that Black Lives Matter and they need our help right now. I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but I was actually born in America and I traveled for about 8 years of my life overseas. I lived overseas because my dad was in the military and then I moved back and it was a culture shock to say the least. I definitely lived on the Navy bases and all of that, but the way that people are treated in America is very different. Racism truly does still exist here. I don't know how to put that any softer. Asian Americans are looked at as a model minority. We are definitely treated better than other races for some reason. I guess it's because we've always been very obedient. That's the best way I can say it. We've always been taught to just like sit down, listen, obey, be good, like make a future for yourself, don't step on any toes. That's it. That's how it's always been and I've never questioned it up until recently. The last couple of weeks definitely have opened my eyes to a lot of things, to the way that lots of people of color are treated unfairly, and how a lot of people are just so hell-bent on saying all lives matter, when in fact they're not angry that people are losing their lives. Where does the all lives matter part of this come in play? I've taken it upon myself to start learning, researching, getting as much information as I can, listening to people's stories, listening to people's experiences. And, it really opens up a part of you where you really have to think about the biases that you've bought into and the things that have been taught to you that maybe you need to reevaluate. If you grew up ignorant to these things, that's fine. The point now is to be proactive and learn about these things and make a difference. My channel is all about me talking about my experiences, my first impressions, mainly about makeup, and my thoughts mainly on makeup. However, that isn't the only part of me. I've just felt the need to be more active, and it's helped me really find a voice for myself in this. Before I was just I didn't know, like I couldn't really stand anywhere because I had no information. But the more information that I'm gaining, the more I truly believe that there is a systemic issue in America that just needs to change. And there's no way of getting around that. I wish that I could articulate this better for you guys. In school, I was never the one to raise my hand and share my opinion. I was never the one to raise my hand and answer questions. I just sat and I listened. I obeyed and I did my work. That's always what I've done. But I have been feeling very compelled to share my opinion and also just to share information because it's a lot. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot of information at one time just getting thrown at you. And it's okay if you get things wrong. It's okay if you ask questions. It's okay if you need some clarity on some opinions or statements or whatever. We're all here to learn, and no one should be condemned for not knowing information beforehand because as far as I'm concerned, right now is a time for learning and a time for understanding and accepting that there are things that, maybe we've done wrong in the past and we didn't know about, and that there are things that we may need to change in our personal lives and also in our local and state governments. It's a time also to be kind. I don't agree with people going back and forth fighting about if police brutality is even real. It's very frustrating to me to think that people are out there fighting other people that are just asking to be treated as human beings. That's truly the foundation of it. We all want to be treated equal, not be tricked into thinking that we're being treated equal. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you guys. I don't make a lot of money off of YouTube. I don't have a giant following. It's really not a ton. So for me to say like all the proceeds of this video are going to go to an organization, that doesn't feel right, because I know that I could be doing more. I could be learning more. I could be sharing more. I could be donating more out of my own pocket. You can share information. You can stop racism when you see it happening. Sign petitions, that's a really great way. Stopping family racism. If you don't share my opinions or my beliefs on people being treated as human beings, you know, that's your choice. I don't agree with it, and I hope that you respect that, and I respect you, but I also hope that you become more open to knowledge and open to changing your opinion once you learn information that, you know, might make sense to you or might make you feel more empathetic. I feel like I've just been rambling. I don't really know where I'm going. I just have so many thoughts in my head that I can't really express. It's very difficult for me sometimes to find the words to express things that I feel very emotional about. I'm not a super open, vulnerable person. I tend to avoid my feelings. So of course I'm scared. Like, I'm scared of what people are gonna say. I'm scared that I'm gonna offend someone. I'm scared I'm gonna say the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, they're my opinions and it's how I feel. I don't expect everyone to 100% agree with me all the time. If you want to see a difference in the world, it truly starts with your actions. That's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the video. I hope that you guys like it. I hope that it makes you a little happy or entertains you a little bit at least. But yeah, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys later. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name's Christina, and I'm so glad that you guys are joining me today. So I think I've successfully put together a full face of e.l.f. makeup except for mascara and blush. I just didn't really want to try a new mascara, forgive me guys, and also blush. I didn't have a lot of options whenever I was picking up some of these products. I did like the Target drive up and there wasn't a ton at my store and I didn't want to drive around. I'm also trying to use a collection of e.l.f. makeup brushes. I've had a lot of e.l.f. makeup brushes throughout the years, so if you guys are interested in seeing how this makeup look turns out, then just keep on watching. Do you guys like my cup? It's color changing. I love it. So I did pick up an e.l.f. sponge. This is the Total Face Sponge. It's huge. Like, if you see this in my hands, it's a large sponge. This is the e.l.f. Matte Blotting Mist. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I've had this for a couple of months and I actually really do like it. It has kaolin clay in it, so it mattifies your skin and I really enjoy it. I decided to spray my face before starting my makeup this time with this matte setting spray because you guys know I get really sweaty when I film. To start off, we're using the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. They actually just brought this back too. I don't know if it's permanent, the whole Jelly Pop line, but I know it's back, at least right now. I'm guessing through the summer. It's so good. It makes your makeup stick really, really well. It definitely does feel really tacky on the skin, but once you put your foundation and your concealer and powder on, you don't feel it. It feels really crazy being back, like sitting at my desk filming. I haven't done this in a really long time, you guys know. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I had a time trying to figure out my shade. I picked up the shade Linen, and I also bought Sand, but once I swatched Linen and I found that it was like just light enough and just dark enough for my skin, I decided not to open up Sand. I definitely can go darker in the summer if this ends up working out, but we'll see. I've only swatched it for color. This is an e.l.f. brush. It's like a rounded kabuki. I don't know what it's called because I've had it for years. So I'm going to use this to apply this foundation, and hopefully this foundation matches my skin okay. Looks a bit light. But that coverage, do you guys see this coverage? It kind of smells like laundry detergent. I'm not a huge fan. It's very fragranced. I'll let you guys know if that goes away though. So I'm actually gonna use this brush to blend it all out, and then I'm gonna use that sponge to make sure that I get rid of any streaking. Okay, so this color's not too bad. I was really debating on getting a darker shade, but I decided that this might work out, and if it oxidized, it would match better. I'm gonna really blend this into my hairline. I know that it's supposed to be a satin matte, but it's looking just straight up matte right now. So I'm gonna take that sponge, it's a clean sponge, and I'm gonna go ahead and tap my whole face to kind of get excess foundation off, and then we're gonna go back in if we need to with more foundation. This is a really big sponge, but it gets the job done really quickly, so that's nice. I don't know how it's gonna do with concealer. I knew I'd like this shape because of the Real Techniques sponge, but I didn't expect it to get this big. It feels like a lot of makeup, but I think it's because I haven't worn makeup at all for a long time. So we're just gonna leave it alone, and then I'm gonna do extra coverage with concealer. For concealer, I'm using my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This has a satin finish. You guys know I love this. I did a full video just on this concealer. I love it so much. But because I've lost a lot of color in my skin recently, I'm gonna go in with the medium beige. I've been breaking out a lot on my forehead. I don't know why. I've been getting like super tiny little bumps, and I've never had this happen before. I don't know what they're coming from. I don't know if it's from a new moisturizer that I had started using a few months ago, but it's very slowly happening. Sometimes when I go makeupless for a long time, I start to break out because I guess my oils aren't like under control because they're not mattified by powders and foundations and stuff like that. But maybe my skin's like binging itself now, you know? They kind of itch. Like I have a dry spot right around here, and I've been trying to keep it moisturized. The complexion is looking really nice and very, very smooth. I like it so far. I can still see a little bit of my freckles. That concealer really helped bring back some moisture under the eyes, so I'm happy about that. I have this e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder in the shade Medium. I figured since this was a glow powder, it would counteract the matte finish of the foundation really well, so we'll see if I was right about that. I like this system. It's kind of like a turn dial thing, so whenever you want to sift some product out, it's right there for you. And then when you're done, you can close that up so it doesn't create a giant mess. So that's really nice. I like that packaging, very thoughtful. I'm trying to kind of squeeze the sponge to make it smaller for underneath the eyes, and it's looking and working pretty well. Gonna get more. Oh, before I do that, I have this cream bronzer. Oh no, I hope I didn't go too low. I don't know if they have multiple, but this says 83342. I'm not sure exactly what that means. This is the e.l.f. blending brush. It's this cute little brush. It's kind of like a fan brush, except it's a little fatter, a little more dense. And then I have this super skinny, super short and dense e.l.f. brush. I think this is like meant for contour. I'm gonna put the product with this brush, and then I'm gonna blend it out with this one. I feel like there's a good cool shade right there, and like kind of a warmer shade, and then a very warm dark shade. I'm not quite sure what I would do with this one. I guess it can act as like a highlight. You can contrast underneath or above, but I don't think I'm gonna do that today. I think what I wanna do is mix this shade and this one down here. Ooh, that's dark. I'm putting it right over here just to get a good mix and figure out what shade is actually on the brush, you know? So that looks pretty good to me. It's very creamy, and hopefully it goes on well. That looks pretty good. And I'm gonna take that kind of fatter fan brush and just blend that out. I think I actually just want to use this brush. It feels like I can blend it better. So what I like about having this palette is that you can create your own color. I get more tan in the summer, so I can dip into this darker shade or just this shade right here, and it'd work for me. And also a couple months after that in the winter, I can still use it. I'm trying really hard not to like rub at my skin. I want to just pat this cream contour in, you know, get a nice wash. Get a nice wash. I will say though, guys, this is messy. I've just started to use it and it's like everywhere. I kind of really enjoy this brush. It's been tucked away forever. I don't even remember the last time I used this brush, but it's doing really great with this cream bronzer. And I have a patch right here. I always get a patch right here, even with powder bronzer. Do you guys have that like spot on your face where it just doesn't want to take any product? My forehead is looking kind of rough right now, so I'm going to take the same sponge I used for the foundation and concealer. I'm just going to pat it in just to blend it all together. I feel like in person, it's not coming off as strongly as it is on camera. On camera, when I look over, I'm like, that's a lot of bronzer. My goal with this cream bronzer is just to get like a shadow so that when we use powder bronzer, we only use a very light layer on top. So now I'm gonna set my whole face with that Halo Glow Powder. This is also an e.l.f. brush. I believe this is just their powder brush. Gonna swirl. Ooh, that's a lot of powder. Tap, tap, tap it in. I think that looks like a very nice, very solid base. The color match is pretty good. For my second bronzer palette, we have the powder bronzer, and this was the only one that I saw, so I believe there's only one shade. This is in Bronzed Beauty. Uh-oh. There's a fingerprint on it! Someone has touched this. Wait, did I do this? No. I was trying to remember if I opened it the other night to like look at it or test it out, but I didn't. I need to sanitize this. I'm gonna go sanitize this. So these are all the shades in the palette. They are all pretty light. For me personally, I don't know if I can like mix these to make them darker. No, that's pretty good. So these are all of the shades mixed together, and then I swatched them all separately. So what I think I'm going to do is start off with blending them all together. We'll see how that works out. And I'm gonna be using my e.l.f. Stipple Brush. You guys know I love this brush. I know that Alana Davison actually loves this brush and she talks about it all the time. I was actually able to find this on e.l.f.'s website a couple of years ago. Use this brush to mix the colors together. It's really powdery. That's actually a pretty nice shade. I think this is gonna work out pretty well. I just have to make sure that I get the same amount of each color on all parts of my face. I'm feeling bronze. Oh my gosh, I am tan. Summer, here I come. Just kidding. That looks really nice. I'm really enjoying the way that this bronzer is looking. I'm trying to go in with a very light hand since they are rather powdery. I want to make sure that I'm doing an even coating all over my face rather than smashing it onto my face in one area and then trying to blend it out. All right, and since I don't have an e.l.f. blush, I just pulled this Milani powder out of my drawer. This is the Rose d'Oro powder. So I'm going to take another clean stipple brush. I only have 2 of these. So I'm going to use this for my blush because I want a very even light coating. Just going in with my previous brushes to blend everything together really lightly. All right, everything's looking pretty good in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my brow products. I have 2 brow products here. I have my e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, which I love. I've bought this multiple times. I would always get brunette, but it leans a little more red for my brows. So this is brunette and this is cool brown. The cool brown definitely looks like a more muted black, where the brunette definitely is a warm brown. With my brows right now and my hair being pretty much black on top and then like almost all the way through, I think that the cool brown's gonna be better for me. I've heard that this Wow Brow is really great, so I'm excited to try this out. I typically do my pencils first, but I want to try this out since it does say that it's volumizing and it's a fiber gel. Let's see how this does and then I'll just fill in the sparse areas with the brow pencil. Definitely made my brow a little warmer than it usually is, but hopefully that pencil kind of neutralizes it. The way that they're standing, it looks really great. Just gonna finish shaping the brows with the pencil now. Definitely warm brows, but we can live with it. It's gonna be all good. So I have two of the new eyeshadow palettes, the bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. I have Pumpkin Pie and Berry Bad. I feel like I use berry shades in tutorials a lot, so I'm gonna go in with the Pumpkin Pie one. So this palette has two matte browns and two shimmery browns. Going to get rid of the creasing from the concealer. I thought that I had way more e.l.f. eyeshadow brushes than I actually do. These are not all e.l.f. eyeshadow brushes. I don't know where all my e.l.f. eyeshadow brushes are. I swear that I have more, but I'm gonna just be using the brushes that I have. They're all pretty much affordable. Taking my Morphe M504 brush and this medium matte brown shade right here, I'm gonna take this all in the crease and a little bit on the lid, just a good wash of brown everywhere. Oh, she is pigmented, you guys. I'm gonna take this really far into my inner corner. Wow, 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 that's so pretty. It looks deeper on my eye than it does in the pan, but I'm okay with that. Just giving my brush a light tap because I want to make sure that I get the majority of the product on to the eyelids because I'm putting this pretty much everywhere. I feel like I can just wear this eyeshadow alone with mascara, be good to go. It looks so nice. So these are both of the metallic shades. Look at that. That's gorgeous. I think I'm going to be using this one, this shade right here. And I also have these e.l.f. glitter, liquid glitter eyeshadows. I have 4 shades. I have Copper Pop, Flirty Bird, 24 Karat Gold, and Dirty Martini. This Dirty Martini shade is calling my name. Taking this Sigma eye shading brush, this E55, with that shimmery shade in the palette, and then I'm going to put this all over my eyelids. I didn't use any MAC Fix Plus or anything. I'm just putting it on my eyelid as is. That is looking real nice and metallic. I am blown away by this formula. Let me use my finger real quick. Look at that. What? Are you kidding? Okay, that is good. Just use your finger if you don't have a brush. So buttery and smooth. All right, I'm taking that same brush that I used earlier with that first brown. Just gonna blend the tops of this shimmer shade just a little bit. And then I'm gonna take this e.l.f. angled brush and I'm gonna dip into the darker shade in the palette and I'm just gonna put that on the outer corner just to give it a little bit more dimension, but it's not necessary. On an everyday basis, I would probably just go with this. Put mascara on and be good. I haven't worn eyeshadow in a while, so I'm feeling a little extra. Taking that medium brown shade underneath the eyes. Then I'm going to do the same thing with that darker brown shade, except I'm not going to go as far into the eye. For this look, I think I'm going to go with either the Copper Pop or the Flirty Bird. This is Copper Pop, and then this is Flirty Bird. I think for this look, for what I'm going for, the Flirty Bird's just gonna add a little bit more dimension. And the Copper Pop, I feel like is gonna make it a little too dark for what I want, what I'm envisioning. So I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of the Flirty Bird. I'm gonna tap this in while it's still wet because I don't wanna risk getting super crazy fallout later. That looks so nice. It kind of just brought a little bit more dimension into the look, but it didn't take away any of the eyeshadow underneath it, which was what I was a little worried about. As another finishing touch, I'm going to be using this dark brown to kind of line my eyes and do a tiny little wing, nothing too serious. Wings with eyeshadows already look very natural, so I'm going to keep it that way. I just want to give it a little bit of something whenever I put the mascara on. It'll just look a little fuller. Since I already put that same shade in the outer corner of my eye, I'm just building it up so you can really differentiate the two. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and do my regular eyelash routine. All right, guys, and while we wait for that first layer of mascara to dry, I just wanted to let you guys know that I did notice I have a little bit of eyeshadow fallout, like the dark brown, right around here. I'm guessing it's from when I did the eyeliner portion of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my little fan right here, kind of try to blow it off. And what I can't get off, I'm gonna use my my powder brush. Oh, and I have other like eyeshadow down here. The shimmery shade, there's like tiny little specks of it. Last face product I have is right here. This is the e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam highlighting palette. I think that these right here are a glamour, it says, and then these are supposed to be inner glow. So I think I'm going to start off with these and see how I feel about them, and then if I feel like I need a little bit more highlight, I'll go in with those. I'm gonna take this Real Techniques brush right here. This is a setting brush, and I'm gonna mix these two colors right here just because I want to try out as much as I can. That's pretty. It's definitely a little more powdery as well, so if you have some texture going on, just be aware of that. Be very light-handed with this. I'm only using a little bit on my forehead because, like I said, I have like these weird bumps going on and I don't really want to accentuate that. Other than that, the glow is nice. I don't think I want to put any on the tip of my nose because of that texture, and my nose just generally starts to look super textured when I have like foundation, concealer, and everything else on there. I guess I can put a little bit of this highlight right here. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm gonna just add this right on top. Oh wow, that's frosty. I'm looking a little frosty with that highlight, so I want to tone it down with a little bit more bronzer. I have this Seriously Satin lipstick in Nectar. So I have the Lip Plumping Gloss in Mocha Twist. I love this. It definitely feels minty and plumping on the lips. It's really, really beautiful. Even on its own, it's gorgeous. And then I have this just regular lip lacquer in Moody. So this is the Seriously Satin lipstick in Nectar. This is the lip lacquer in Moody. I'm just gonna use this alone. It feels kind of thick on the lips though, so if you're not crazy about the feeling of gloss, you might not like this. All right, friends, and that wraps up this entire look. I really, really like the way that it turned out. The eyes are so pretty. The sparkle just added a little something. The eyeshadow palette, holy crap, this thing is so good. I will say it's super powdery, and I did experience a lot of fallout. Usually that doesn't really bother me, but because I already had my face done, it was a little difficult to work with. So I recommend that if you use these palettes to do your eyeshadow first and then do your base, and then you should be good to go. Obviously, you guys already know that I love the primer, I love the concealer. The foundation ended up working out pretty well in my opinion. It's very full coverage. It is definitely a matte foundation. This Halo Glow setting powder is really nice. I don't see any type of like sheen or anything coming off from it, which is actually a very positive thing in my opinion. I was really scared that this was going to come off really shimmery and just like weird on the skin, but it makes it just look nice and airbrushed. So this was really, really nice. The Wow Brow actually holds my brows really, really well, but the only thing is that this is pulling a little warm on me. If I had a little bit more color in my hair, I think it would work out fine. But for now, I think that it's doing a good job holding. So if you can find something that looks good with your brows, definitely try it out because I like the product, and I just love how simple this packaging is. It's just matte black with e.l.f. on it. The bronzer palette, I really, really enjoyed this. I get like multiple shades of bronzer out of this, and I can also mix it, which is great. The shade on my skin right now, the three mixed together, oh my gosh, it looks so good on my skin. On camera right now, it just looks so warm. The cream contour palette, this is really nice. I like the variety of colors that's in here. This I'm not too crazy about. I wish that they had put just like another like brown contour shade in there, but these two seem to do a good job for me. Like I said, cream bronzer and just cream products in general definitely have like a learning curve to them. I'm still learning too, so it takes a while. Just take your time doing it, and then I'm sure that you'd get like a beautiful natural look. I don't know if it's because I haven't worn makeup in a while and I haven't worn bronzer in a while. My skin is just looking alive. The lip gloss I really like. It's not plumping or anything, so there's no weird tingling feeling if you don't like that. The shade's really pretty. This is just the lip lacquer on top and I really enjoy it. The highlight, it's a little textured, so if you tend to have more texture, maybe some like acne scarring or something, I don't know if this is the palette for you, but in a pinch, I think this is really beautiful. Not my favorite highlighting palette for sure, but it's good. I really like these glitter eyeshadows. I've honestly had them for a very long time. I just haven't really dug into them, used them. I love like the messy look that they can give. Like if you put the glitter eyeshadows all over and then just do like mascara, it looks very like editorial, really cute. I actually forgot to spray my face. This again is the matte blotting mist, so I'm gonna spray my face now, but I will tell you how I really enjoy using this. So like I said earlier, I've had this for a couple of months now and I was testing it out a lot whenever I was still going into the office for work. I usually use blotting sheets and those are great by themselves, but if you use a little bit of the blotting sheet and then spray this, it gives you such a nice natural finish. It's not going to completely mattify your face like you just powdered it. That's not really what it's going for, I think. I think it's just supposed to get rid of the excess oil because especially during the hotter months, I get very excessively oily. So blotting sheets plus this, it just feels refreshing and it gives you a nice natural finish on the skin. I'm not really sure how it would work for you if you're dry. I'm not sure it's necessary. My skin's okay with kaolin clay because I've used masks with it before, so I really do like this. And it has the little metal ball in here, so whenever it separates, you can easily just shake it up and it'll kind of come back together. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I really had fun doing it. This is the first time ever, I think, that I've done one brand of makeup. It's really difficult and it's honestly very intimidating, which is why I haven't done it up until this point. But if there's another brand that you guys are interested in seeing me do, just like that brand, or at least focusing on that brand, please let me know in the comments down below because I kind of want to do it again. It was really fun. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!